morning. Happy Friday. I'm trying to figure out if my glasses are crooked or if my head is. I don't know. I'm hoping it's the glasses. Hi, welcome to Coffee Chat this Friday. I am so happy it's Friday. I'm not gonna lie. I got dressed a grand total of 2 times this week. One time because I had to do blog post photos. So that doesn't really count because I stayed in my yoga pants all day up until that point. And then I did get dressed yesterday. So congrats to me. I don't think it was until like 2 p.m. though. So it was one of those weeks. It's been kind of crazy. I felt like I was overbooked all week, but it was all good stuff. It was crazy stuff, but it's all good stuff. So there's two kinds of stress, right? The good kind and the bad kind. And I'll take the good kind any day, even if it means I'm not getting dressed and looking like a very good leader of the style challenge. So anyway, it's spring and I'm going to talk about skincare today because I feel like when we head from winter into spring, it's a really good time to think about what we're doing with our skincare. Our skin changes as the seasons change. So a lot of times we do have to change up our skincare seasonally. And I'm going to talk to you a little bit about that today, and also some signs that it might be time to change up your skincare. If you've been doing the same routine for 5 or more years, then it might be time to change things up a bit. So I'm going to tell you some signs to look out for if it has been a while. But I'm going to give you a little bit of background about my skincare journey. So I didn't really think about skincare much until I was in my 30s. And I went for my first facial then because I noticed that things were changing. Like I had some dry spots in areas, and then I was oily in other areas, and I went in for my first facial, and honestly, it was overwhelming to me. I think they took those little paintbrushes and painted on like 15 different products and steps, and when I left there, she gave me this big list of stuff and said, oh, you can buy all these products here. And I just walked out of there and I didn't buy anything because I just felt so overwhelmed by everything that she told me and all the products that she recommended. So I scheduled an appointment with my dermatologist because I continued having the same issues with my skin. And I was telling her about this experience. I said, you know, I went to this facialist and she told me to buy all this stuff. And she's like, no, you don't need all that stuff. I recommend a very, very simple skincare routine. You need a gentle cleanser. You need a moisturizer. You need some SPF. And you need to exfoliate once in a while, and that's it. And she said, and if you want to add in a treatment option, then I always recommend Retin-A or some kind of retinoid product that's going to help with skin cell turnover and help with those little breakouts and things that you're getting. So I left there feeling just completely like de-stressed, I guess is a good word for it, about skincare, because she gave me this list of just simple products that I could use. And I started using those in my early 30s, and some of them I'm still using today. So obviously it was a good routine, and it was just very relieving to find out that you don't have to have the 15 different products and use, you know, an entire skincare line to have good skin. So I think that that's, you know, a myth that we need to debunk, is that it doesn't require as much as maybe you think it does, that the skincare basics are that. They're basic. It should be simpler than that. So that was a total relief for me. So I'm going to share some of those products with you today that she told me about initially, and some of them that I still use to this day. But I did have some issues just 2 years ago with my skin again. I started doing bioidentical hormone replacement therapy, which is pelleting. You may have heard of it, BHRT. And I get testosterone pellets every 3 to 4 months because my body makes pretty much no testosterone whatsoever. And I never realized that women needed that, but we do. It gives us energy. It helps us build muscle. It gives us sex drive, which is the reason that I went in to get it to begin with. You know, I shared this on a different coffee chat, but after I had our third child, my drive never came back and I couldn't figure out what was going on. So after years of frustration and trial and error and thinking it was 100 different things, my doctor, I finally got brave enough to bring it up with her, and she tested my hormone levels and said, you have no testosterone whatsoever. So I've been doing BHRT for 3 years now, I think. Yeah, this is 3 years. And it was life-changing. I'm not going to lie. I know not everybody has the same results with it. I do understand that. I think a lot of times some people get too much too soon, and then they have these horrible side effects and reactions. My doctor starts out really conservatively with it. You know, some women need testosterone, some need estrogen. It just depends on what you're lacking at the time. But the testosterone made a huge difference for me. And we started with a very small amount. And when you first get it, it kind of hits you like a ton of bricks. But then as time goes by, it tapers off and your body gets used to it. And then she was able to slowly bring me up to a level where I feel like it's therapeutic, yet I don't really have side effects. So long story short, the side effects that I did get from testosterone were I started to get acne for the first time in my life. Never had acne before. And I started getting cystic acne. I was getting it along my jawline and my neck and on my shoulders and back. And I still get breakouts once in a while. But she put me on a low dose medication, spironolactone, which has really drastically helped with that. So you know, that's really been the biggest in my adult life. I've never dealt with acne before, so that was really kind of the biggest obstacle that I had to overcome with my skin. And the thing is, even changing up my skincare wasn't going to help that issue. Sometimes when it's a hormonal problem, you have to go to the doctor and find out what the underlying issue is and see if there's something that can help with that, because all the skincare products in the world probably aren't going to be able to tackle it, especially if it's cystic acne. So anyway, so if it has been 5 or more years since you've changed up your routine, then it might be time. And if you have sensitive skin, which I do, then it's important to note that you don't want to do a sweeping overhaul of everything at once. Think of it like a food allergy. So you eliminate things, right? And then you add them back in. Well, it's kind of the same thing with skincare. You don't want to go changing up your cleanser, your moisturizer, and your treatments all at the same time. I recommend just doing one at a time. If you want a new moisturizer, then layer that into your routine. And then a few weeks later, try another product, but don't try them all at once. Because if you do have redness or irritation or flaking or drying or anything else, any kind of reaction going on, it may be hard to pinpoint what's causing it. So I'm speaking to you from experience. Early on at my blogging days, I would have a lot of companies come to me and say, hey, we try your skincare line. And I was like, okay, sure, yeah, fun. So I tried a few lines early on, and one line that I tried, I got a terrible rash from my face and my neck, and it was red and itchy and like a red rash with white bumps, and it lasted for a couple weeks, and it was an awful experience. So I started turning down any skincare opportunities from that point forward, but I've just learned that I can't change things up drastically with my routine. Even if I go get a facial, sometimes that will irritate my skin for a couple days afterwards. So I always share with them to use just really gentle products when I do that. All right, so the basics are gentle cleanser, moisturizer, SPF every day, and any treatment options that you might want to layer in. And the reasons that you might want to change up your routine are if you have the following signs. Dull skin is number one. As we're coming out of winter and spring, I think that's something that a lot of us are experiencing, is that our skin's looking dull. It's not as perked up and fresh as we'd want it to be for spring, and you want a dewy, youthful glow. And the second reason you might want to change up your skincare is you're not getting results. You know, I recommend giving any new skincare routine 6 to 12 weeks, which is a long time, before you decide you're going to jump ship, because you just don't know. Some products like this one I'll be talking about in a few minutes, this Rock Retinol, it takes about 8 weeks for you to start seeing results. So some products are formulated that way. You're not going to see the results right away, so give it some time. The next one is you're breaking out. Yes, I already mentioned this, but if you start getting acne or more breakouts, you know, an occasional pimple or two, it usually isn't an issue. I just dab some of this Rapid Clear on and it goes away, usually within a couple of days. But if you're starting to see a lot more acne or a lot more oil production in your skin, then that might be a time that you're going to want to change things up. Your skin is too dry or oily is another reason. I've started noticing I have dryness around my eyes and on my eyelids, and then oiliness on my chin area. So I've had to adjust some of my products for that. And the last reason is if you have redness, irritation, burning, or stinging, then obviously it's time to change things up. I mean, those are like red flag issues that something is not working for you. And I will say that we hear a lot of times, you know, in advertising and, you know, when women talk about it, my skin now that I've turned 40 is so much different. It's not like you wake up on your 40th birthday and your skin just changes overnight. But I will admit that skin changes over 40, typically due to hormonal changes, are a little more challenging than they are before you're 40. So if you're not 40 yet, you might start noticing some of these changes happening in your skin. And you know, the funny thing about it is you'll have breakouts and oily spots along with wrinkles and dryness. It's like, how is this even dermatologically possible that all this stuff is happening on my face at the same time? But it happens. So we have to be able to adjust things accordingly for that. So, all right. So the steps of my skincare routine, and you can download a PDF with all of the products that I'm going to show you today, actually more products than what I'm going to show you today, all of the links to them, and a video where I outline go through my whole skincare routine with you at getyourprettyon.com/skincare. And that's going to have all the skincare basics and essentials. I'm going to have other products listed in there too that I don't mention here today that are also really good if you have different skin type from what I have, but it's getyourprettyon.com/skincare, so you can sign up and download that. But we're going to start with the first step, which is cleansing. My dermatologist told me years ago to use a gentle cleanser like Cetaphil. I'm going to tell you something, a tip I wish I had known, that you do not have to buy an expensive cleanser, period. Because your cleanser is only on your face, what, a minute, 2 minutes at the most. American women do not spend a lot of time cleansing our faces. French women do. Did not know that. I read that fact the other day. I found it kind of interesting, but we rush through washing our faces. So if you're spending a lot of money on a cleanser that has anti-aging ingredients or whatever in it, you're washing it down the drain because it literally washes off your face when your cleansing is over, and the residual effects of that are not staying. So if you're going to invest in anything, invest in the products that stay on your skin and are actually being absorbed by your skin and you're able to use. So for my cleansing products, you know, I use this product a lot. It's Neutrogena Naturals Fresh Cleansing and Makeup Remover. I used to get it at Target. They stopped selling it. I get it at Walmart, or I get it on Amazon. And it is a really good makeup remover. So I like to use this one at night whenever I'm trying to get my eye makeup off. But it's really gentle. I've had no irritation with it whatsoever. So I recommend that one. I also use Cetaphil for years and years and years. If I don't need to remove makeup, I think that's a good option too, but it's a nice gentle cleanser. So don't worry too much about spending a lot of money on your cleanser. Just find one that is going to work really well for your skin type. If you have dry skin, then you're going to want one that's going to hold in some moisture. If you have oily skin, then obviously you're going to want to look for one that is going to be able to clean everything off without completely stripping your skin. So that is my cleanser. And then next up in the order of skincare, you know, I think it's important that you follow these steps, because once you're done cleansing, immediately after you get out of your shower or after you've finished cleansing, while you still have a little bit of that moisture in your skin, you need to lock it in. And I don't care if you have oily skin or dry skin, it's important to lock the moisture in, because with oily skin, I think our tendency is that we want to dry our skin out. And when you do that, and you've probably heard this before, it creates an overproduction of oil in your skin. And then you're just creating this vicious cycle where your skin's producing more oil to make up for the dryness. So moisturizers are always, always important. So the next step in the process can be your moisturizer if you're skipping all treatments. But if you're doing a treatment, then you need to do treatment, then moisturizer. Just remember, as you apply products, you start with the thinnest ones first, and then you work your way up to the thicker ones. So when I talk about treatments, what am I talking about? Well, there's all kinds of treatments out there. Right now, I'm using a vitamin C serum, which I consider a treatment. And I use this because it helps my skin glow. It is called Glow Boost. And again, you can get all these products and the links and everything at getyourprettyon.com/skincare. And this is something I just started using a couple months ago. I got it in a Target beauty box, a little sample of it, and I loved it. I started using it on my skin, and I didn't change anything else up in my routine. And my husband said, "Your skin looks so good. What is going on?" it's like glowing. And I said, I don't know, the only thing I changed was this stuff. So I've been using this as soon as I cleanse my skin every day as my first layer that I put on. And it has made a big difference for me. So if you're dealing with some dullness in your complexion, you know, as we age, our skin cells turn over slower. Yay, fun. So it's important to do things that will help boost the glow for you. So that I recommend that if you're looking for something that's going to help your skin glow a little more. Another treatment might be this. If you're experiencing some breakouts, you know, something that you're just spot treating your breakouts with is important. What else? Oh, okay. So my nighttime treatment, I use retinol. I do this every night. I use Rock Retinol Correction Deep Wrinkle Night Cream. I've been using this for years. I started out with a Retin-A that my dermatologist prescribed to me, and it was way too harsh. My skin was dry. It was flaking. And again, she said, give it 6 to 12 weeks. If it doesn't work out for you, you can abandon ship. I gave it that long. It did work. I loved the results, but I continued to have the irritation. So I decided that wasn't going to work out for me. But then a few months went by, started doing research, and everything that I read, every article about skincare over 40 said you must use some kind of retinoid. It's so good with collagen production and minimizing fine lines and wrinkles and skin cell turnover and all this good stuff. I was like, oh, I really need to use Retin-A, but I don't like the effects. So I kept coming back to this particular product over and over again. Everybody was recommending it. And the cool thing about this is they've done a few studies that consistently you're still getting continued cumulative benefits from it. So that's really cool. I've been using this for a few years. I love it. I recommend it to all my friends. And it really does make a difference. It helps with fine lines and wrinkles. It helps with your skin tone and texture, and it improves expression lines and deep wrinkles too. So this is definitely considered a treatment, but I only use it at night. So I would do my cleanser, and then I would do this during my nighttime routine. I can also do this. I do this sometimes before I do the retinol at night if I remember. But yes, you can layer your treatments. There's no problem with that. Just remember, lightest to heaviest. Okay. Other examples of treatments: eye cream and neck cream. So these are the things you're going to want to put on under your moisturizer. I usually use a moisturizing eye cream at night, and then I use one with caffeine in it during the day because I tend to wake up with puffiness and bags and circles and all that fun stuff. So caffeine is not only good for drinking, but it's good for your eyes too. All right, so neck cream is something I've recently added into my routine. You can get my neck cream at getyourprettyon.com/skincare. I did not bring it here with me, but neck cream is also something that I just recently layered into my routine and have found I need. So yes, fun times, right? Okay, so we can move on now. Moisturizer. Even if you have oily skin, you must moisturize every day. I've tried a ton of different moisturizers. In the winter months, I usually use this Confidence in a Cream from IT Cosmetics. I love this. It smells amazing. The texture is really nice. It's a thicker moisturizer. If you have oily skin, I don't recommend this one, but I do recommend this one. They have it, Confidence in a Gel Lotion. This stuff is freaking awesome. It is a, it's called Hydro Plumping Skin Transforming Weightless Moisturizer, and that's exactly what it is. 72-hour hydration. This hydrates your skin, but it doesn't make it oily. It makes your skin feel like satin. I absolutely love it. So again, you can get all the links to these, getyourprettyon.com/skincare. That's right. Okay, and this is my daytime moisturizer. I've been using this one for years. It is Garnier Skin Active Clearly Brighter, and it has an SPF of 30 in it. It is an anti-sun damage daily moisturizer. I think this also has vitamin C in it, but I'm not positive. But I do know that it does make my skin brighter. It has SPF 30, which a lot of moisturizers only have 15. I get this on Amazon because I haven't really seen it in store with the higher SPF in it. You have to get that one on Amazon. But this is my daily moisturizer. If I'm going out to walk the dogs or whatever, I start with this base on first, and then I layer my CC cream on top of that because it has SPF 50. And ladies, if I could do one thing over again, I would go back to teenage Alison, and I would say, do not step foot into that tanning bed, girl. You do not need that. So yeah, I definitely, if there's any regret I have in life, I regret the time that I spent in tanning beds growing up. So I always tell my girls, like, I know you like having tans, but trust me when I tell you that the easiest thing that you can do for your skin right now is stay out of the sun, wear SPF. Okay, so the next step on the list is exfoliation. So this is something you would do either before or after cleansing in the shower. I put it on here last because it's something I don't do every day. I do it about once a week. And again, this is something my dermatologist recommended. It really, if my skin is looking dull, I exfoliate with something gentle in the shower. I use the St. Ives apricot scrub, which some people find that harsh. I just don't rub very hard. I put a little bit on my fingers and just kind of lightly go over my face and neck and chest with it. But that's a good one. You can use a sugar scrub if that one's too harsh for you, something that just kind of melts and dissolves in the shower. But exfoliation is so important, especially over 40. Again, skin cells do not turn over like they did when we were younger, and we have to give them a little bit of help. So exfoliation is a great way to do that. All right, so again, you can get all the links to my skincare products, getyourprettyon.com/skincare, and I'll also show you a video of me doing my exact skincare routine. But I hope you guys learned something today. I'd love to hear what your skincare issues are. I find it really interesting to see what different issues you're dealing with and what products are working best for you. And I find that it really helps our community too, whenever you list out some things, because you're probably helping someone else out. So please list out your skincare recommendations if you're watching on Facebook or YouTube. Or you can DM me on Instagram. I like DMs too. So I hope you guys have an awesome Friday, and I will see you back here next week, same time, same channel. Have a great day. Bye.